To say that what follows next is staggering is an understatement. Take a look with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, a blog post has just dropped. We were notified it was going to be coming, but we weren't given any prior information on this. There's been a lot about this, about catching fish, about the Highlands Fishing Expansion Edition with the various different fisheries, and we saw some stuff on the fishing rod. We had some stuff, some footage we saw the other day, but we didn't know any more information. This is giving us more information. This is genuinely, I've literally just opened up this blog, opened up the blog post to have a look. Should we have a look? Fish and chill in Kinlaig, Highlands Fishing Preview. Since fishing is one of the most relaxing pastimes there is, you can buy a fishing rod from the local dealership in Kinlaig and waddle up to the next puddle to catch some fish. Isn't that nice? Let's check out how it works. Now this is a curiosity because I said when we got the footage from Gamescom, it was right at the very end. And I didn't know whether there was a specific location you had to go to, whether you could just fish anywhere. You know, we don't know a lot about it. So this is what we're finding out. Go near the water, a river or the ocean, and equip the fishing rod. You can also take a sports boat. What? A sports boat out to sea and start catching fish on the open water if that's your preferred style. This is the first we've heard of this. We knew we had the sort of landing craft transport boat, and people kept saying, "Are we going to get fishing boats? Are we going to get smaller boats? Will we be able to take?" No idea. Until now, a sports boat. Well, let's have a click on these first images as we go along, because this is. I mean, that looks mad. That's pretty cool. I'm assuming it's the fishing rod itself that is a package, a bundle, so that when you equip that fishing rod, that enables you to catch fish. It will run through a cycle. I don't know if that's randomized or what, I don't know. But the fact you can kind of pitch up anywhere. Cannot wait. Apologies if there's a bit of fan noise in the background. That is absolutely amazing. That's the first image. This is it. Look at that. Off the back of a sports boat. Twin engine. Bit of a beastie. Good thing about looking at the blog this way, doing it this way, is we can look at the GIFs. The GIFs. It depends how you say it. Is it GIFs? Is it GIFs? Oh, I'll get comments. But that's brilliant. That and the view, look at that. I might use that as my thumbnail. So it'll seem a bit weird. It may seem a bit disingenuous if you see this as the thumbnail and then me saying at the start, this is my first time looking at it. It is. Obviously I've got to edit this, so yeah, that might be the thumbnail. I like it a lot. Very cool. No more views of the boat, obviously. Then we've got this. So, fishing rod, 150, that's all. Highlands Fishing Expansion. And I wonder whether or not Giants will release the coding for it, whether it will be that thing that it'll be glaringly obvious, or whether they'll keep hold of it, I don't know. So you'll be able to maybe get different sorts of fishing rods. I don't know. You know, like I say, and I'm assuming it will only be available on Kinlaig, but again, I don't know. You never know with these things, do you? Potentially, it could be retrospective, as long as it's a waterway or a lake or something. If it's the rod that does it, not the map, I don't know. Anyway, there are some hotspots. Okay, there are some hotspots where more fish are to be found compared to others where you might get a bit more junk on the line. Oh yes, you can also catch fish outside Oh, I was literally just said that. Literally just said it. That's awesome. If you prefer to fish around Riverbend Springs, Hutan-Pantai, Zalonka, wherever there's water. So it's the rod, it's not the map. This is massive. Massive news. Incredible. Baiting fish. To start the fishing challenge, press and hold the action button to cast your bait into the water. I wonder if you actually have to go and collect bait, buy bait or something. It hasn't really said that. The longer you hold the button, the farther your bait will be thrown. Cool. Let's have a look at the GIF. Is it going to play it? So the longer the hold, the more the power. I was saying this when we had the footage. We didn't know what it was going to be. I'm already staggered by that information. That's incredible. What we got here. So yeah, so we're seeing different locations, which is pretty cool anyway. Wow. And then wait. Once your bait's in the water, you be patient. You sit, you chill out, read a, well, maybe not read a book. Now you have to wait for a fish to take the bait. An indicator will appear when it does. Press the action button at the right moment, otherwise the fish will escape and leave you standing alone at the shore in shame. Again, the dynamics of that's just incredible. So there's your image. Hook fish. So when that comes up, that's when you strike. Bang! Wallop on the line, on the rod, and you catch your fish. Do it at the wrong time, you lose the fish. That's a very, very cool feature. Reeling them in. If you reacted in time, the fish catching will begin. Now pay attention. The bar on the right has two components. The fish, which jiggles up and down. Okay. And the bait, which you control by holding down the action button. Hold down the button to raise the bait. Release the button to lower the bait. So you're trying to keep it in line with what the fish is jiggling with, I assume? Let's have a look at that one. Okay. Oh, right, yeah. So you've got the blue bar is the fish moving, and you're adjusting your hook to try and keep it in line. The longer you keep... Oh, this is brilliant. I wasn't sure the dynamics of this. So the longer you see it's going light green when you're in the bar with it. So when you're level with the fish and you've got it just right, it goes light green and your orange bar goes up, which means you're closer to catching. So you've got to try and keep that in that... It adds a whole other dimension to it. A lot of things, like I say, a lot of dynamic to it I wasn't expecting, but very, very cool. That's awesome. Haha. Huh. Wow. Now this one, what's this? Ah, so when it said you can, some places are better than others, I'm assuming it says, well, the floor is wet after all. I'm assuming what you've done there is you haven't caught a fish and you've reeled in a random object. So it's a wet floor sign. That's the only thing that would make sense there when it talked about junk earlier, that you won't always catch a fish. And again, that kind of adds another element of randomness to the whole thing, which you kind of get with fishing anyway. So you've got to find the hot spots, the sweet spots, and then, you know, how well you strike, how well you do what you're doing. And then... Now, this is interesting. So, again, I wasn't sure how this was going to work. Fantastic, a gigantic salmon. Do you want to release the fish to the water or sell it for 400? So you've got sell or release. So you can do catch and release, or you can keep the fish and sell it. Or sell it automatically, whichever. What's interesting about that is that when we got the images from Gamescom, the image of the fish it showed, and the bit of clip, it just said, you've caught a salmon. It didn't say gigantic or a trout, whichever one it was, and it only offered you 100 for it. So there are different sizes you can catch as well. Oh, awesome stuff. Follow the fish up and down with the bait until it gets tired. Wear it down to reel it in. Keep at it to improve your fishing skills and maybe get rewarded or get some junk. Trash happens. With Highlands Fishing, you can also start bigger, more professional fishing operations, a fish breeding facility, offshore aquafarms, feed production. Ah, we didn't know that was a thing. So feed production, that's a new bit of information. This is packed with new information. And boats for transport let you set up a new line of business in addition to agriculture, animal husbandry and forestry. Don't forget, if you pre-order now, there should be links in the description. You will get a 10% discount. That is still available. That is on the third part of the Year 1 Season Pass, the Mercedes-Benz Pack DLC, and also this, the Highlands Fishing Expansion Edition. 10% discount until those release. If you've got the Year 1 Season Pass, you will get them automatically. If you don't have the Year 1 Season Pass, you can get that as well. Again, there's lots of links in the description. Follow them. It's all there. Highlands Fishing releases on November the 4th for PC and consoles. All I can say is, wow. I am genuinely surprised, staggered. All the extra bits of information there with the sports boat. I mean, that's incredible. The way you catch the fish, the fact you can, it looks like you can pretty much go anywhere. You're going to have hotspots. The fact you can retrospectively then use this now. It's telling you giants maps. It'll be interesting to see when this comes out, if you've got it installed, whether you'll be able to use this on modded maps. It doesn't mention that, but that'll be a curious thing to see whether you can or not. But if you can, that'll be incredible. I'm not going to lie, that'll be wow, I wasn't sure what to do with this. When I saw the blog pop up, we'd been, like I say, we would tip the wink saying it's going to be popping up at 1 o'clock. But we were sent nothing in advance. So I didn't know what this was going to be. And it is far exceeding. Genuinely speaking, I'm thoroughly looking forward to the map. Kinlaig looks incredible anyway. The fact we can do the fisheries and stuff and the boat was awesome. This part of it, which actually was kind of the little bit we didn't know yet, I'm more excited about this than I think probably all the rest of it. Yes, we're getting Highland cows. Yes, we're getting onions and all the stuff that comes with that. We're getting the new map. But this is very, very cool. Anyway, I hope you found all this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.